Tonight I'm going to be reading The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many quaint and curious forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my book surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. For the rare and radiant maiden. So now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating to some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," I said, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. And so faintly you came a tapping at my chamber door, I was scarcely sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortals ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only words there spoken were the whispered word Lenore. Then I whispered, and echo murmured back the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, something louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment in the mysterious explore. The wind and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped the stately raven from the saintly days of yore. Not at least obese and stately, not a minute word or stopped or stayed he, but with the mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a pallid bust of Pallas, perched and sat, and nothing more, just above my chamber door. Then ebony, this bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art no craven, ghastly grim, and ancient raven from the wandering nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on this night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though it answers little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above its chamber door. No such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only not one word, as if his soul that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather that he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Our other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." But the raven, still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking, what is this ominous bird of yore? What grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking "Nevermore"? This I sat engaged to guessing, but no syllable expressing the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushioned velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over, or but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, ah, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed by some unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels hath sent thee respite, respite and nepenthe for thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thinking of evil, prophet still, though bird or devil, whether tempter sent, nor whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yes, undaunted, on the desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there a balm of Gilead? Tell me, now I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell the soul with the sorrow laden, if the distant Aidenn, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, who the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest at the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out thy heart, and take thy form from off thy door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid busted palace just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming casts a shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that he lies floating on the floor. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Thank you.